Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to another installment of the Outlaw Super Series presented by Limited iRacing Series. Stay Al here with you tonight to bring you all of tonight's racing action as we get ready to go here from the beautiful new Smyrna Speedway. This tough, tricky little racetrack, home of round number 3, presented by Heaton's Garage. Let's take a look at tonight's race information here at the new Smyrna Speedway. It is just a little bit short of a half mile, but in all intents and purposes, it is a half-mile racetrack. We'll have 2, maybe 3 groups of racing here tonight with a beautiful 77 degrees, partly cloudy, and just a bit on the humid side. Last week, we were at the South Boston Speedway for the BG Designs 125, and it was Riley Duncan picking up the win, holding off Braden Goddard and Philip York in car number 97. 11 drivers signing in to do battle here tonight in the Heaton's Garage 125 qualifying underway. And I can tell you right now, Braxton DeWeese up on top of the heap here out of the 11 cars that have taken time. So, what we'll have in store here tonight, 125 laps of action. And first of all, we want to thank everybody for tuning on in here tonight to the Outlaw Super Series brought to you by BG Racing. Can't thank them enough for being a proud supporter of the Outlaw Super Series. Also want to thank Premier Dental Arts, Premier Service, Premier Products. Also want to thank BG Designs, bgdesigns.com. If you need to get your car looking right, well, they can do it at even a better price. Starting at $10, they can make your custom design a reality to race in The Sims. Go to bgracingdesigns.com. They also have some pre-made skins as well, where you can just add your sponsors, change your colors, and go. We want to thank them for being a proud supporter of the racing series. We also want to thank new this week breaking news coming across the waves was we have GP Diecast becoming a sponsor, so we want to thank them as well. The GP Diecast, so you can find out more information by going to www.gpdiecast.com. We'll get that up in our system for them coming up here in a little bit here. But yeah, it's great to have some more sponsors. We want to thank Heaton's Garage as well for coming on board with tonight's racing sponsor. They'll bring you this week and next week as we round out the month of March at the Hickory Motor Speedway. That is in 1 week's time. That'll be round number 4. But tonight is round number 3. It is brought to you by Heaton's, and this is your Heaton's starting lineup. This is what the starting lineup will look like here tonight as the field starts to get lining up here on pit road. This is your starting lineup. Starting on the inside of row number 1 in the Reaper Speed Lab, car number 15, it is Braxton DeWeese. Starting outside of him, car number 7, it'll be Blaine Harrison. On the inside of row number 2, car number 13, it is Devin Schillenberg. Into his outside, the number 54 of Brody Marinko. Eli Lewis in car number 3 will roll off in the 5th spot. Outside of him will be Jeffrey Johnson in car number 11. Then it'll be Joshua Seifert in car number 12. And the Reaper Racing, car number 12, that is Joshua Seifert, will roll off 7th. Outside of him, the 97 of Philip York. Justin Elvis will roll off 9th in car number 4. Outside of him, the number 10 of Brendan Carroll. And shotgun on the field, the driver who's won the first 2 weeks, looking to make it a hat trick here in the opening season. It is Riley Duncan in car number 97. That is your 11-car field, waiting for them to grid up onto the racetrack right now as we have a great night of racing going to kick off here tonight for the Outlaw Super Series here, presented by the Limited iRacing Series. All 11 cars making it out onto the racetrack. 125 laps is the distance. We want to thank you all for tuning on in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If it is your first time, please hit that little subscribe button. Tell us, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe. We have racing 7 nights a week and multiple broadcasts on the night, all the way from the short tracks here at New Smyrna, just down the road to the high banks of Daytona, all the way from Coda to the world's most famous road courses. We cover it all here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, your number one stop for everything sim racing. We want to thank you all for tuning on in here tonight. Pace truck gonna pull down to the infield. We're gonna go green flag racing. This time off turn number 4, it'll be Braxton Dewey zipping on the gas pedal, and we are underway. Down in the turn number 1 they go. It'll be Deweese jumping out to your early race lead over Schillenberg. Marinko back to that number 3 position as they all head down through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Lap number 1 is going to belong to the 15 of Deweese. Deweese being hounded, though, by that number 4 of Devin Schillenberg. It'll be 13 on your scoring. But the number 4 of Schillenberg runs second as they work off the corner. Number 4, Brody Marinko, runs there in spot number 3. Fourth spot is Eli Lewis in that number 3. Then it will be Jeffrey Johnson rounding out your top 5. Riley Duncan already up to that 8th spot after starting 11th. One car sitting down on pit road. It looks like it's the number 10 of Brendan Carroll. As Carroll is getting back up to speed. So a tough break for them. Contact down the backstretch. One car into the inside wall. I believe that is Joshua Seifrid. As he is now getting back up to speed. We stay green for the time being. So contact between the 97 of Duncan as he works down the backstretch. We look out the back with the BG Designs onboard camera. And Riley up to that 6 spot, 1 spot outside of the top 5. We look forward. He's looking to chase down the car in front of him. That would be car number 2 or 11 of Riley Johnson or Jeffrey Johnson. Because now it looks like yellow flag, maybe not. Yeah, yellow flag out around the speedway. So we'll go back up top here and see what the yellow flag has come out for. I believe Brendan Carroll. Here, yellow flag coming out. Let's see here. I'll take a yellow flag. So not sure what the yellow flag is. Maybe there is some debris out onto the racing surface. Well, anyway, they have brought the 97 of Duncan down pit road. Duncan sitting in his pit stall. Joshua Seifrid also coming down pit road in that number 12 automobile. So we go high above with our Goodyear blimp. Looking high from above the speedway here tonight. Let's take a look and see where your running order is. It'll be Joshua Seifrid just 1 lap into the arrears. Plenty of time left to go. 116 laps to go here at the New Smyrna Speedway. This one will go by in a blink of an eye, though. The field paces down the backstretch behind the Chevy Silverado. If you're in the market for a tune-up or get your car fixed, head on over to Heaton's Garage, proud sponsor of the limited iRacing series and the Outlaw Super Series here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. I want to thank them for jumping on board, becoming a premier sponsor for these races this week and next week when the series heads to the Hickory Motor Speedway. As the lights are out on the pace car, it's been Braxton DeWeese since the green flag has dropped. Devin Schillenberg in that number 4 runs to the outside, and it will be the car number 54. That is Brody Marinko and the 3 of Eli Lewis. That is your top 4. Green flag is up, and we are back underway in the Heaton's Garage 125. Good side-by-side battle here is now Marinko taking a peek down to the inside underneath Schillenberg. Couldn't quite make it past that time into turn numbers 3 and 4. The top 3 cars starting to scoot away from the number 3 of Lewis. We got a good side-by-side battle, though, shaping up back here. Is Johnson working underneath Philip York. A little bit of contact, and around will go the 97 of York. And York facing the wrong direction. So far, we stay green as your race leaders will barrel down in the turn number 1. Down the backstretch they will come. It'll be the number 15 of DeWeese being hounded by Schillenberg in that black and red number 4. Schillenberg taking a peek to the inside. Can't get DeWeese a little bit loose. Now a bid for your race lead. Down in the turn number 1. Yellow's coming out. And it looks like the 97 of Philip York in trouble. Some more trouble on the front stretch with Blaine Harrison. And car number 7 as well is pulled away from there. So let's take a look back and see what happened to the number 7 of Blaine Harrison. Riley Duncan takes a peek down to the inside in the turn number 3. Harrison up the racetrack. And Duncan just gets into the left rear quarter panel of the number 7 of Harrison. And Harrison goes around, points the Ford Mustang to the inside Armco, and will be able to pull away to live to see another day. Philip York also went around. Let's take a look at this incident. He was working side by side down here in the turn number 1. You see the number 2 of Johnson just gets to the left rear quarter panel. There might have been some net code. Let's take another look at that from our eye in the sky. A little bit of slight contact there. It looks like just enough to upset that 97 of York. But everybody able to get back out onto the racetrack. So the field will pace behind the Ford, or not the Ford, the Chevy Silverado for the second time here tonight. Once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning on in. I want to say hello to the captain in charge here, Braden, checking in on the YouTube side. Good to see you, Braden. We miss you out on the racetrack. Hopefully we'll see you next week at the Hickory Motor Speedway. As the field will double up, and this time Braxton DeWeese is going to take the outside front row. So they will take the front row here as they work down in the turn number 3. The pace truck going to pull to the safe haven of pit road. Green flag in the hand. Green flag is up, and we are back underway. Down in the turn number 1 they go. It'll be the 15 of DeWeese jumping out to that race lead over the number 4 of Schillenberg. Marinko in the number 3 spot. Lewis still there is under charge now. Riley Duncan going to get underneath the 3 of Lewis. So put the 97 of Duncan. He'll move Lewis up the racetrack. Here comes Philip York. He'll fill that void as well. It's Philip York. He'll go in the corner. Lewis up the racetrack. Some more after contact. Full body racing up there on the racetrack as they head down to turn number 1. Everybody is still out on the racetrack. 11 cars took the green flag. 11 still out there. Jeffrey Johnson down one lap to the rear. Lewis up the racetrack now off the corner. Blaine Harrison's going to pull underneath him. Harrison will get by Lewis as Lewis sponsored by the Premier Dental Arts. He'll take a peek down to the inside. Can't quite make it happen. That time Harrison a little bit loose. Maybe wheel hopped it into turn number 3. That allows Justin Elvis to get on by. Great racing all the way around the Speedway, but up front, Braxton DeWeese. As we look out the back, is your race leader. Driver out of Miamisburg, Ohio, trying to hold off the number 4 of Devin Schillenberg. His yellow flag has come out onto the racetrack here tonight for the number 11. I believe that's the number 2. The 11 of Jeffrey Johnson. Over there was parked down in turn number 2. Let's take a look and see what happened to Johnson. Just got down in the corner and around she went, and the leaders were coming by, and the yellow flag will come out. So a tough break for the driver of that automobile. Oh, well, we got a moment. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here to the new Smyrna Speedway. You're watching the Outlaw Super Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back here to the Turn 3 Racing Network, where we are underneath the yellow flag, but not for too much longer. The field will be doubling up as we ride on the back side of the pace truck with the Premier Dental Arts, Premier Service, Premier Products, proud sponsor of our onboard camera, proud sponsor of the Outlaw Super Series here, presented by Limited iRacing Series. As the field doubles up, we're ready to come back racing this time off of turn number 3 and 4, and it has been Braxton DeWeese, set fast time in qualifying. Now sits there in spot number 1, has led every lap. He's got the number 4 of Devin Schillenberg to the outside. Green flag is up, and we are back underway. DeWeese with a good jump down into turn number 1, but here comes the number 4 Schillenberg. He'll go from the outside, trying to hit the ground level off turn number 4 too. Can't make it happen that time. Side single file in the turns 1, 3, and 4. Here they come. One car going around. That's the number 4 of Justin Elvis. Has gone around, did the 360, catches the gear, gets the car pointed back in the right direction. Will lose several positions, but the car does not look like it is hurt. Let's take a look back here and see what happened to the number 4 of Justin Elvis. Oh, maybe a little bit of contact right there between himself and the 7 of Blaine Harrison. Everybody able to point it in the right direction. Let's take a look here. Go back here. You see, yeah, Harrison is able to roll the center a little bit better than the 4. I believe the 4 might have had to check up for the 97 of York. And that sent the number 4 of Elvis around. Puts us underneath the yellow flag here. Everybody get pointed back in the right direction. And Jeffrey Johnson going to get the free pass. Get back up on the lead lap, I believe, or get one of his laps back. That'll leave him 1 lap in the arrears. So if we get a few more yellow, another yellow or so, he's the only car down 1 lap to your race leader currently. Trouble, though, for the number 97 of Riley Duncan. Looks like he has had electrical issues with the 97. Had to pull that car behind a wall momentarily. We'll see if he's able to make it back out onto the racetrack or not. Tough break. He was led the first 2, or won the first 2 races here with the Outlaw Super Series here, presented by Limited iRacing Series. Tonight it is the Heaton's Garage 125 pace truck getting ready to go down pit road. Green flag is back up and we're underway, and Deweese not wasting any time jumping on the loud pedal. He'll get down to turn number 1 in front of Schillenberg. Now York up the racetrack. He's trying to get around the 54 of Marinko. Marinko able to hold off the 97 of Philip York for the time being. Green flag is flying. The number 12 right there, Joshua Seifeld working there in that number 12. He's got Blaine Harrison in the 7, that blue and white number 7. Qualified up in spot number 2 of the outside pole sitter. He is back 4 positions, trying to make his way back towards the front. Seifeld will move up the racetrack. He'll get by. So Harrison now move him in back to the inside the top 5. Meanwhile, Deweese still showing away about a 1.5 car length. Lead over the number 4 of Schillenberg. Riley Duncan coming out, got his electrician by many laps down, 6 laps down to be exact, for the 97 of Riley Duncan, who is slow down the backstretch, going to let the field go by before jumping up. So Duncan able to get back out on the racetrack. We'll see how his night fares. These 2 guys, here comes Eli Lewis in the number 3, working down the back stretch. We'll jump in car with Lewis. He'll work underneath Seifried. Side by side through turns 3 and 4, and down the front stretch they come. Lewis doing a great job here, coming back up through the field with that number 3. Just in front of him, Justin Elvis. We saw him go through the spin cycle a few laps ago. Now working his way back up towards the front. He closes in on the back side of the 7 of Blaine Harrison, who's just got a massive wiggle off turn number 2. Yellow flag coming out, as I believe the number 3 of Eli Lewis has gone around in turn numbers 1 and 2. The broadcaster's curse just said how he was doing a good job making it his way back up through the field. And around he goes. Let's take a look back here and see what happened to Lewis. Lewis gets down here in the turn number 1, gets into the corner, and oh, the back end just stepped out on him, and around he goes. Seifeld nowhere to go. Nothing that driver did wrong. The 3 of Lewis almost had it saved, and the tire said, I'm going to grip now. In a hard right-hand turn to the outside wall. Race leader is the 43, or the 15, excuse me, of Braxton Deweese. Jeffrey Johnson down on pit road getting some service to that number 2. Joshua Seifert getting caught back up to the backside of the field. He had to come down pit road, fix some of that front end damage on the number 12. A little bit of housekeeping. Riley Duncan able to get one of the laps back. Now down 5 to the race leader. As Jeffrey Johnson down on pit road. Extensive damage to that number 11. Field doubled up behind the pace car. We're ready to go back. Green flag racing this time off turn number 4. The green flag clinched in the right hand of our flag waver. Wavy McWaver. Green flag is up and we're back underway. Down here, the turn number 1 at the Deweese getting a clean start, but a good side-by-side battle back here. Schillenberg to the outside. Here comes Marinko. Brody Marinko trying to make a move to that inside the number 4. Couldn't quite make it happen that time. One car loose off the corner. That was the 7 of Blaine Harrison. Lewis and the number 4 of Elvis. Elvis will split them. Harrison, though, battling back on the outside. Groove around the outside of the number 4 of Elvis. Good battle right there as they all chase this driver to the 15 of Deweese, doing a great job holding off the advances. Has led all 49 laps so far here tonight as we close in on the halfway point. Deweese, one of those Rookie of the Year contenders here with the Outlaw Super Series. Doing a great job. As Riley Duncan came in as your points leader, and as they race, let's take a look at those points before the race started here tonight. This is what your point standings look like. It was Riley Duncan with 64 over Philip York. Braxton Deweese came in tied for second, with a three-way tie over Philip York and Joshua Seifert. So those 3 drivers who came into tonight's racing action tied for the championship standings. And well, right now Braxton Deweese trying to put a win in that column, but the number 4 is Schillenberg doing a masterful job right there behind them as they work down the back stretch. The GP diecast car number 15 showing the way. Schillenberg in number 2 spot. We go on board with the Premier Dental Arts on board camera with the driver of the number 13, but it's really the number 4 out on the racetrack of Devin Schillenberg. Currently second, trying to find a way around the 15. Deweese doing a great job showing the way. Schillenberg really starting to apply the pressure to the back side of that car. The guy up to the 3rd, Marinko, just got loose. Is Brody Marinko now under fire from the 3 of Eli Lewis. Lewis up to 3rd, gets underneath Marinko. Lewis making a charge from the back of the pack. Now washed up the racetrack. Marinko puts the nose down low, side by side off of turn number 4. In the turn 1 they come. It'll be a good wheel-to-wheel battle off the corner. Lewis with the momentum. He'll hold down spot number 3 with car number 3. Lewis really starting to get the feel of this race car underneath them as one car going around, yellow flag coming out. That's the driver of the number 7 of Harrison has gone around. He will bring out our 6th caution flag of the evening as we were closing in on the halfway point. Let's take a look back here and see what happened to Blaine Harrison to bring out this yellow flag. Harrison goes down to the inside underneath the 97 of Duncan. Oh, they come up the racetrack. Oh, contact. They kind of got sucked together. And around will go the 7 of Harrison, who will get the car pointed back in the right direction. Let's go on board with Harrison. Looking out the front. tough break there. Let's check it out with Riley Duncan. So, two-by-two action right there at the new Smyrna Speedway, and that will happen 9 times out of 10. We got some action on pit road, though. Brody Marinko down there, Blaine Harrison, Philip York, and Brendan Carroll all on pit road. Jeffrey Johnson going to fly by. He's got the lucky dog, get him back 1 lap closer to the lead lap. Here's we close in on the halfway point. I want to thank everybody for tuning on in here tonight to the Outlaw Super Series, presented by Limited iRacing Series. Find them on Facebook to stay all up to date with their current news. Follow them on Facebook at Limited iRacing Series. Lights are out at the top of the Chevy Silverado. That means we're going back green flag racing in 1 lap's time as we look down high above with our Goodyear blimp. So everybody getting lined up there on the bottom row. Green flag getting ready to fly. Pace truck down and away. Green flag is up. We're back on the way. Deweese slams the gas once again. Down here in the turn number 1, Deweese doing a good job. Philip York going to go sideways. That's going to collect the number 12 of Seifrid. The 11 of Jeffrey Johnson as well. Excuse me here. Let's take a look. The Stephen Carroll. In the 11 car, number 10 on the page here. So Carroll getting a piece of that. Yellow flag coming out here for the 7th time in the Heaton's garage. 125 here at the new Smyrna Speedway, and just about 2 months ago we had Speed Weeks down here, the World Series of Racing. Super late models raced down here along with they had the Florida Modifieds. Those always put on a great show. The Tour Style Modifieds were also in action at the new Smyrna Speedway in the month of February during Speed Weeks. So if you're down in the Florida area, it is a great place to be. If you're from somewhere where it snows or cold, like I am up here in the New York State. Lewis, though, up to that number 2 spot now, behind the 15 of Deweese. We know Braxton Deweese has not come down pit road at all so far in this race. Others have come down, put some fuel in the car, maybe put some 4 Mr. Good feels on the race cars, but the original tires are on the 15 of Braxton Deweese. Has he saved anything with the GP diecast, car number 15? We will see. Brendan Carroll here runs in the back in the number 12, that number 11 automobile. Then it is the number 12 of Joshua Seifert. But up front, Braxton Deweese going to jump on the gas pedal. He caught Lewis maybe a little bit sleeping on that start. They all head down here in the turn number 1. Lewis up the racetrack. That opens the inside line. Nothing can be done by Philip York. York takes a look to the inside. Can't do anything with it. Justin Elvis goes sideways. Seifrid's going to go sideways. He'll collect the 97 of Duncan. And the yellow flag will fly once again down here in turns 3 and 4. Let's take a look back here and see what happened to Joshua Seifert. A little bit of contact between himself and the 54 of Marinko, and up the racetrack will collect the 97 of Riley Duncan. So Duncan getting a piece of that. Was been in place for the Lucky Dog, but with the iRacing.com service, if you make contact and are the recipient spot for that Lucky Dog, well, they don't give it to you. So that'll keep Duncan at 4 laps in the arrears unless waved around manually by race officials. Braxton Deweese up on the front of this one. Eli Lewis to the outside when we go back to racing. We're past the halfway point. Let's take a look where your favorite driver is currently slotted on the rundown. His midway break is brought to you by Heenan's Garage, and it is the number 15 of Braxton Deweese and Eli Lewis up 1 and 2. Up 5 spots here tonight. Tied for the most hard charger. That is the 97 of Philip York. And the number 4 of Justin Elvis. Devin Schillenberg in car number 4 runs 5th. 6th spot belongs to the 7 of Blaine Harrison. Brody Marinko, the 11 of Brendan Carroll. Joshua Seifert, the number 2 of Riley Duncan. And the 11 of Jeffrey Johnson runs out your top. Your 11 car field as they work down here in the turn number 1. Side by side paddle back there for the 4th spot. It is the number 4 of Elvis trying to get around the 4 of Schillenberg. Schillenberg going to dive it in deep. Contact behind him, and then Elvis goes around off the right front of Blaine Harrison. Harrison got down to the inside. Of the number 4 of Justin Elvis, and Elvis going to go around and make substantial left side contact with the outside retaining wall. Let's see here. Let's watch this down the backstretch. Harrison tries to make a move. Elvis lets off, gets into the corner, and Harrison gets a good down on the apron. Got down on the apron, washes up Elvis, the innocent bystander. Let's watch it from the back here out the BG Designs onboard camera. And hard contact with the outside wall for the number 4. So a tough break for Elvis. As we come back to live pictures here, Braxton Deweese still your race leader. Doing a great job. We want to thank Chris for checking in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Braden also says he'll be at the Hickory Motor Speedway in 1 week's time. Hayes said he's missed tonight's racing action underneath the lights here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Is nighttime starting to set in. Pace truck down and away. We're back underway. Lewis spins the tires. Eli Lewis spins the tires, causes a big stack up on the restart. Collects multiple drivers, both the number 12 of Joshua Seifert and the 11 of Brendan Carroll involved. Let's take another look at that on the restart from the flag stand. You can see that, and Philip York nowhere to go, and just clogs up the front stretch here. Let's go take a look here. Off turn number 4. Right into your lap. And boy, oh boy, did that cause some trouble for multiple drivers in that one. Oh, we'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You are watching the Outlaw Super Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
Do what you can do, man.
Oh. Wait.
That's a strike right there.
Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here. Didn't miss anything. The pace truck just about to click in. Green flag is back up. We're back underway here. Just closing in on 43 laps to go. Side-by-side battle as Blaine Harrison gets moved up the racetrack. Elvis gets to the inside of him. Maybe a little bit of payback there, but up front, things really starting to tighten up on the 15 of Braxton DeWeese. Oh, Philip York gets sideways. That's going to give the number 4 of Elvis the number 3 spot. 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Brody, how did they make it out of there? I know that the 3 of Lewis did not. He has slowed down the backstretch, but they were 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Now Blaine Harrison's going to go around. And the yellow flag will fly once again here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. This track being very tricky here tonight for these race car drivers. Now your race leader going to come down pit road for the first time. Will give up the race lead with 40 laps to go as Braxton DeWeese will come down pit road. See if we can see what kind of they'll put right sides, at least on the GP diecast. Number 15 of Braxton DeWeese, who has been up front, has been able to hold off everybody. Going around to the left side, you see Lewis leaving pit road in number 3. They pulled out the right front fender on that automobile. And down and away will go the 15 of Braxton DeWeese. That gives the race lead for the first time here tonight to Devin Schillenberg in car number 4. Justin Elvis runs in second. Third spot belongs to Philip York. And while we got the quick time, we're going to take and thank you all for watching the Outlaw Super Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight's race is being brought to you by BG Racing. Can't thank the Goddard Racing team for sponsoring the Outlaw Super Series enough here for the limited iRacing series. It is also brought to you by Premier Dental Arts, Premier Service, Premier Products. BG Designs. BGRacingDesigns.com is where you can find them. If you are in the market for a new paint scheme, head on over to BGRacingDesigns.com today. We also want to thank tonight's racing sponsor, Heaton's Garage, where many of these race cars will head to get tuned up for next week's race at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Green flag is up. We're back underway, and it is the number 4 of Schillenberg jumping out to the race lead. Side-by-side battles back there. We got him 3 wide. That was Joshua Seifrid on the outside of Blaine Harrison. Here comes Braxton DeWeese with those 4 fresh tires, able to hug the bottom side of the racetrack. But Seifrid really driving in deep on the outside. Side by side, still back there for that 5th position. Oh, Seifrid gets the outside wall. Harrison nowhere to go. And Eli Lewis will get in the left rear quarter panel. And more trouble as the 11 of Brendan Carroll gets involved. And the yellow flag will come out. This is not what Schillenberg wanted to see, especially with knowing that Braxton DeWeese is out there with 4 fresh tires. That's just going to shrink the field up to them again. Let's take a look here to see what brought out our 12th yellow flag of the evening. Side by side off the corner, Seifrid up on the outside, just got a little bit tight on the outside wall, and Harrison nowhere to go. Eli Lewis hoping to get through there, unable to do so. Is Harrison, Carroll, and Lewis all involved in this latest yellow flag. Riley Duncan getting another lap back, and I believe that'll put him 2 laps in the arrears. As Brendan Carroll and car number 11 will roll down pit road. Blaine Harrison also coming down pit road as number 12 of Joshua Seifrid sits there getting some damage fixed on the number 12. Schillenberg doing a out on the front of this one. Took over the race lead back on lap 85 when Braxton DeWeese, your pole sitter here tonight, setting a new track record. It's the first time that the series has come to the new Smyrna Speedway. So first time down here at the new Smyrna Speedway, and the track record being set during qualifying. Don't quite have the time off the top of my head, but it belongs to Braxton DeWeese. Green flag is back up, though. We're back underway. Down here in the turn number 1, I can tell you that the quick best lap of the race so far tonight belongs to Devin Schillenberg up on the front of this one with a 17.51. Oh, Braxton DeWeese up the racetrack. He'll lose multiple positions back to the 7th position. And the 7 of Harrison will get on by. Harrison will get loose there, and Justin Elvis will go around. And we're back underneath the yellow flag here once again, closing in on 29 laps to go. Oh, slight contact between the number 3 of Lewis and the 4. Harrison nowhere to go from the spinning car number 4 of Elvis. That is what will bring out our yellow flag here. That'll restack the field once again. No laps work completed. Well, under green at least. Yellow flags are going. That'll give another lap back to Duncan. I believe that puts The 97 back on the lead lap. Riley Duncan was at 1.6 laps down. Now finds himself last car on the lead lap and not out of contention to pick up his third straight feature event this season with the Outlaw Super Series. Duncan picking up the win, the season opener. Then picked up the win last week at the South of Boston Speedway. Field doubled up behind the pace car as they'd roll down the backstretch. It'll be Devin Schillenberg and Brody Marinko up on the front of this one. Green flag is up. We're back underway as the field is underneath the green flag. 26 laps to go. Schillenberg showing the way. Here comes Marinko. He'll try to get the run down the backstretch. Can't do anything with it that time in the turn number 3. Side by side for spot number 3. One car going to go around. That's the 3 of Lewis. As Yorkis DeWeese will get to the inside. Braxton DeWeese will take that third spot as they wreck him on the front stretch. Yellow flag coming out. As I believe the 3 of Eli Lewis is slow here on the front stretch. Take a look back here and see what happened. See him get down in the corner. Philip York to the inside. Oh, a little pinching there. Two drivers going for the same spot. They get sideways, collect the 97. A Duncan is also involved. And Brendan Carroll, his night continues to get worse. Unfortunately, let's go on board with Brendan Carroll up the front of the BG Designs onboard camera. You see the accident. Out of the gas, thinks he's got it cleared, and then Lewis's car comes right up the racetrack and boom, hard contact with the right front of that DCR chassis, car number 11. Philip York down on pit road, getting some damage fixed down. Blaine Harrison has also on pit road. Field doubles up once again as we have now reached 22 laps to go in the Heaton's Garage 125. Schillenberg is first. Outside of him will be Marinko. DeWeese up to that number 3 spot. Outside of him, the number 4 of Elvis. Eli Lewis, and his car number 3 runs in 5th. Outside of him, the 97 of Riley Duncan. That's your top 6. Green flag in the air. We are back underway. Clean down in the turns 1 and 2. One car up the racetrack. That is Elvis. He'll move to the outside as Riley Duncan will get by him as well. Schillenberg still showing the way. Then it's the 54 of Marinko. Underneath the down the front stretch they go. 20 laps to go. Top 3 cars get away. A little bit of battle back there for the 4th spot. Eli Lewis has it. The number 97 of York took to put the nose down low, backed out of it. Thought better of it, not that time. York up to the outside, trying to get the momentum built. Now we'll try to cross him over. Lewis gets loose. 3 wide down the backstretch. Duncan and Lewis going to make contact. Both those drivers. And now Philip York has gone to the outside wall. Yellow, 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 as yellow fever has caught the Outlaw Super Series here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. The wreck that took the whole backstretch to happen. Let's take a look back here and see. Let's go on board with the 97. You see him get underneath the 3 of Lewis. And it just gets hooked there. down to the inside and up across the racetrack in hard contact. Look at how the hood buckled right there. That is hard contact for the number 97 of York. Let's take another look at that from up top on there. He takes a peek to the inside. Lewis is loose, gets back in the gas, gets the 97 of Duncan. That also clips the right rear and in hard contact to the outside for the 97 of Philip York. Let's watch it one more time. Let's go on board with the 97. Hard contact there for the McConey Setup Shops 97 of Riley Duncan. And that puts us underneath the yellow flag here. Once again. 15 laps to go at the stripe. It is going to be a shootout of a night here. Most laps led will go to the 15 of Braxton DeWeese. He led past the halfway point after starting on the pole. Lights are still on around the Speedway. Want to thank everybody that's still tuning in here tonight to the Outlaw Super Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Still accepting new drivers. If you are interested in coming out here and racing with the Outlaw Super Series, head on over to the Facebook, the Limited iRacing Series on Facebook. Drop them a message. They'll get you all hooked up, tell you what you need to do. You get out on a racetrack with them next week. We're at the Hickory Motor Speedway. That should be a good race there. Pace truck down in the way. Green flag is up. We're back underway. Down in the turn number one to go. Schillenberg going to show the way. He'll drop the car down low over Brody Marinko. The 15 of DeWeese is there. Now here comes Riley Duncan. First time Duncan has cracked the top 5. Can he get up there with just 12 laps to go? Schillenberg showing the way. Now the 97 of York takes the look to the inside of Riley Duncan. Philip York will move himself back to the 5th spot. Duncan back to 6th. Top 6 cars have broken away from the rest of the field as they work down the front stretch. It is still Devin Schillenberg showing the way. Schillenberg has Marinko in the back pocket. Now maybe a little bit of breathing space, about a car length, if that, as they work off a turn number 4. Braxton DeWeese going to clip the grass. He'll go around here on the front stretch. Tough break for the 15 of Braxton DeWeese, and the yellow flag will come out with just 10 laps remaining. You saw DeWeese get loose there on the current numbers 3 and 4. Got down in the grass, and that'll send you around. That is like walking on ice. Let's take a look back here. See if anybody else was involved with Braxton. We see him working down the backstretch. No pressure from behind. Gets into the corner, and the car just steps out. Tries to save it. Gets the grass. And the 4 of Elvis, nowhere to go. Takes and gets to the left rear quarter panel. Another GP diecast, number 15. And DeWeese will get back pointed in the right direction. Schillenberg up on the front of this one. Brody Marinko. Now I'm going to restart once again to the outside. Some new players though down low. Is the number 11 of Brendan Carroll will get the free pass. Philip York is in 3rd. Riley Duncan 4th. Justin Elvis sits 5th. Brendan Carroll 6th. And Braxton DeWeese rounding out the cars on the lead lap. Joshua Seifert back out on the racetrack is currently scored in the 9th position. 2 more laps, he'll pass Eli Lewis, who sits on pit road with extensive damage on the number 3. Some housekeeping. The 7 of Blaine Harrison still on pit road. And Jeffrey Johnson has pulled the number 2 behind pit wall. So tough break for the driver of the number 2 of Jeffrey Johnson. Is it going to be Devin Schillenberg picking up the win? It's going to be a 5-lap shootout. The end of Heaton's Garage, 125 here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. Brody Marinko, can he get his first win of the season? Will it be the 97 of Philip York? The 97 of Riley Duncan? Can DeWeese come from 6th to win it? Green flag is up. We're back underway with 5 laps to go. Schillenberg down to the inside. He'll lead them by 2 car lengths down the backstretch. Good battle back here. Braxton DeWeese has got around Elvis. Now Riley Duncan up the racetrack. He'll try to go high, but here comes DeWeese. He'll fill the inside. 4 laps to go. DeWeese gets loose. Has to catch it. He'll drop back to the 6th position. Schillenberg showing the way. He has opened it up now. 5 car lengths over the 54 of Marinko. Is starting to feel the pressure from the 97 of York as they work down the backstretch. Next time by the popsicle sticks will be up. It'll be 2 laps to go for your race leader of Schillenberg, who has got a 0.7 of a second lead over 2nd place, the 54 of Marinko. 2 laps to go. Schillenberg doing a good job leading them down the backstretch. Marinko starting to close in as temperatures come up. Liz it a little bit too late. This time off the turn number 4. White flag is up for Schillenberg. Final trip around the half mile. New Smyrna Speedway in the Heaton's Garage. Carter 125. Schillenberg through turns 3 and 4. Off of turn 4. Checkered flag is up. And Devin Schillenberg is going to pick up the win. Drag race for the 3rd position. Philip York is going to get that. We'll watch that one back. Duncan will come home 4th. DeWeese will round out your top 5. Elvis, Carroll, Seifert, your top. Lewis, Harrison, and Johnson, unofficially your top 3 cars here tonight. Let's take a look back here on that white flag laps. Let's watch the battle between Riley Duncan and Philip York. Down through turns 3 and 4, the 97 of Duncan up the racetrack on the outside groove. York with a good bid down there in contact between the 97 of Duncan and the 97 of York. Off the corner they come, and at the line, York just by a nose holding off Riley Duncan. As we come back to live pictures, it is Schillenberg burning it down here on the front stretch here in the Heaton's Garage, 125. We'll be right back with the post-race show. You're watching the Outlaw Super Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the new Smyrna Speedway, where we are now entering our post-race show, and we have caught up down here in Victory Lane with the driver of that number 4 of Devin Schillenberg. And Devin, you took the lead over on lap 86, had to fend off a lot of restarts here at the closing end of this one. How did you get it done to get into Victory Lane here tonight for the first time this season with the Outlaw Super Series?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know, man. I really like these cars on this track, especially because you can run the inside and the outside. But I knew it was gonna be very tire dependent on when to pit stop and when not to, and when to take fuel and when not, because we were not gonna be able to make it all the way on fuel. But me and Braxton were having a good run in the beginning of the race. I was just giving him the fear factor a little bit, diving it in on the inside, let him slide up, use his tires a little bit too much than what he wanted to do. Let them right sides kick in, get some heat in there. But yeah, I just kept on giving him the fear factor, kept on putting my bumper to his bumper, see what was happening, see where he would make mistakes, pick up ground off of that. And then me, Brody, and Philip decided to work together for the rest of the race, and we just all put it together, and then I came out on top. We came out 1, 2, 3, so it all worked in my favor, and yeah, it was a really good race.
Yeah, good race here. Next week we head down to the head up. I guess we can't go much further down here in Florida where we are tonight, but we head up to the Hickory Motor Speedway for another event next week, 125 laps in distance. Have you got many laps around that? I know that track's relatively new on the circuit here on the iRacing.com platform. What are you expecting out of next week's feature?
I mean, yeah, I do have quite a few laps on Hickory, especially in the supers, but I mean, there is really good talent here, especially Riley. He's good, Brody, Phillip, a lot of people are really good in here. But I mean, I'll just try and do what I do and see if I can come out with another win. But I really do like Hickory. There's a bunch of ways you can run it, so we'll see what happens.
Well, man, congratulations on picking up the first win of the season. You're going to have to start at the back of the field due to that rule, but I'm sure we'll see you up towards the front by the end of that 125 laps of action at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Before we let you roll on out and head into the Room of Doom for tech inspection here tonight, who makes it all possible on this race car to get you into Victory Lane?
100% Premier Racing Setups. I mean, they've gave me everything. The car, all that. Definitely the experience taught me some stuff, but especially it was really nice to bring them down on Victory Lane, and it was a very good race, so I liked it a lot.
Well, congratulations on the win. We'll see you in 1 week's time, Devin. Congratulations once again. That is your tonight's feature event winner, the number 4 of Devin Schillenberg. Now we'll slide into our number 2 position here tonight. Finishing in second spot is the driver of that number 54, Mr. Brody Marinko. And Brody coming up one spot shy, but I guess when you lose to a teammate, it can't hurt all too much. But I'm sure you want to be in that Victory Lane circle.
Oh yeah, we obviously always want to be in the Victory Lane circle, but I'm not mad that we lost to him. We both ran a great race. Yeah, we all ran side by side. It was really clean for us and Devin. We all three worked together, and yeah, can't thank everyone enough.
You think having a little bit of right front damage at the end of this race really hurt the chances of maybe getting up there and trying to challenge Schillenberg for that win? It seemed like when we went back to that restart with 5 laps ago, it took a little bit for your car to come in.
Yeah, it might have took a toll on it a little bit, but I've been tight all race. It's not how I would usually set up a car, but we worked with what we had, and I'm happy to come home with P2.
You can't beat that. Next week, we head to the Hickory Motor Speedway. Hickory, one of those new tracks on the circuit here in the iRacing.com platform. Will we see you up maybe towards the front next week? How do you like your chances at Hickory?
Oh, I think it'll be great. Certainly a good track for us. We always run up front there. I've ran 2 previous league races there, and we've run top 3 the whole entire race there.
Well, we look forward to next week in 1 week's time going to the Hickory Motor Speedway. But before we let you go, we'll roll the red carpet. I can speak, I can promise. Roll the red carpet out here for you to let you thank all the people that make it possible to end up here on the podium here tonight.
Can't thank Keller Williams, BMR Designs, and all my family.
Well, congratulations, Brody. We'll hope to talk to you maybe one spot better next week at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you.
That's Brody Marenko coming home in that spot number 2, and 1 spot behind him, finishing in 3rd, was a driver of the number 97, Philip York. And Philip, we're seeing it on the broadcast right now. A little bit of a last lap tussle between yourself and Duncan, but you're going to come home in 3rd. Talk us through your race. We saw you a lot of ups and downs. We saw a hard contact down in turns numbers 3 and 4 there. The race looked like it was a fight, a prize fight that you see down on the Vegas Strip.
Yeah, it was definitely a brawl out there tonight, and it's really not what I expected. Come in with a pretty poor qualifying effort, and just really not a track that I'm too great with, and come away with a top 3. I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah, talk us through your night. You talk about how important qualifying is here. This track, historically very tough to pass on, very line sensitive. Just, all night long we saw you come up through the field and you'd have to come back up through there. Just how did you keep a cool head in order to stay in position to even be in consideration for, a good finish here tonight? Because at one point it wasn't looking too good for you.
Yeah, man, when the going gets tough, you just got to put your head down and stay with it. And everybody else was having the same tight race car as we were tonight, it seemed like. And I knew if we could just keep some tires on it and let the air pressures build up, we'd have a chance of passing some cars. And that's exactly what we done.
Well, you're going to pass, almost the most. Riley Duncan ends up moving up 7 spots, so he'll get the hard charger award here tonight. But I would say that overall, maybe you passed the most cars here tonight in the Heaton's Garage 125. Next week we head to Hickory. How's the outlook for this 97 team up at the Hickory Motor Speedway?
I haven't really done any testing on the sim rig yet. I've ran a couple of races there in real life in the limited program there. So I got a little background, know how to get around the place. Really looking forward to it.
Well, we look forward to seeing the Outlaw Super Series next week down at the Hickory Motor Speedway as we wrap up tonight here. Before we let you go, though, who makes it all possible? Who's on this car that makes it possible to come out here each week and do the battle and, put it on the podium here tonight?
I just want to thank my mom and dad for everything they do in my racing, the Holston River Machine Shop, Nansag and Lime, and everybody that puts on this broadcast, puts on the league, and we have a real great time.
Well, congratulations, Philip. We'll see you in 1 week's time at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Until then, keep it rubber side down, will you?
Thank you, sir.
That's Philip York finishing in the 3rd spot. Let's take a look at your unofficial results coming out of tonight at the Heaton's Garage 125. It was Devin Schillenberg picking up the win. Brody Marenko going to come home 2nd, and Philip York will round out your top 3. Riley Duncan will come home 4th, and that's an impressive 4th place finish at 1.6 laps down here tonight for the number 97 of Riley Duncan. Braxton DeWeese leading the most laps here tonight will come home with a 5th place finish. Justin Elvis 6th, and the last car on the lead lap, the number 11 of Brendan Carroll. Joshua Seifert will come home in the 8th spot. Eli Lewis 9th. Blaine Harrison and Jeffrey Johnson will round out your 11 car field here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It has been a pleasure bringing you tonight's racing action for the Outlaw Super Series. And it was brought to you by Heaton's Garage. If you have some auto mechanic work that needs to be done, head on over to Heaton's Garage in Missouri. They'll get you tuned right up, get your car back in tip-top shape. Heaton's Garage, we can't thank them enough for sponsoring the new Smyrna race here tonight. We also want to thank BG Racing, pick title sponsor here tonight as well for the racing series. We would also like to thank the Premier Dental Arts, Premier Service, Premier Products, BG Designs. So are you in the market for a new paint scheme for your iRacing hot rod? Head on over to bgracingdesigns.com for all your painting needs. The official painter of the Outlaw Super Series. Well, that will do it for me. We'll head up the racetrack to the Hickory Motor Speedway in 1 week's time. But until then, keep it wheels down, and we'll see you at the races.